Ranalah news. Let's talk about Ranalah. So the beautiful fairground themed Ranalah that Joby Carter came down and painted, that was exhibited at this year's Goodwood Revival, is back home, safe and sound. It's made it back, and that is for sale. I'm going to sell it with its current jazzy paint scheme. Hopefully somebody out there will appreciate it for what it is, and the fact that Joby Carter's painted it. It's an awesome thing. Anyone out there that wants a Ranalah wheeling machine, brand new, with a custom paint job, there's only one of them in the world like that. The fairground one that Joby painted is for sale. The lower sets of wheels, so many people are interested in that have got existing wheeling machines with rubbish wheels. So I've commissioned another 10 sets to be made, and I've been making the boxes. That's what I've been doing the last couple of days. I didn't film any of it because it's boring. As soon as the wheels and bearings all arrive, I'll be assembling those, and then I'll have another batch of 10 sets of wheels. They'll all be for sale as well. You may have noticed this sneaking in the back of shot. This is a 3D printed model of a mini Ranalah. So it's to scale, 100% to scale of the original, but scaled down to a third. Brother Dan did that for me. Thank you very much, Dan, if you're watching. I was going to make mini Ranalahs that size, but I had that 3D printed, and looking at it and speaking to Geoff Moss at MPH Motor Panels, I wanted to make something that's more useful more of the time. So we've ended up at half size. So the original wheeling machines are 6 foot, just over, tall. So we're scaling everything down by half, and we're calling it the half wheel. The patterns have been made by MJY Patterns. They're looking beautiful, and they're actually at the foundry now. Chris is working on actually the first test casting. I can't wait to get that back in the workshop here, making all the pieces, working out, developing all of the parts. We're doing it all again, but scaling everything down, and that is no doubt going to come up with all sorts of problems, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I started the Ranalah project to raise awareness and encourage people to get into wheeling, and people could not do that if you can't get hold of a decent wheeling machine. The full-size replica continuation of the original Ranalah wheeling machines are available. I've got one here for sale. I've got another bare casting that I'm going to start building up soon. Geoff Moss is still over the moon with his machine. He's using it daily, and it's still performing perfectly. The lower wheels, the top wheel, it's all good. I wanted to move on to the sort of next chapter for Ranalah, and so many people have been on a wheeling course, interested in learning, want to have a go, but either don't have the money to buy a big one or don't have the space. So I figured making a half wheel is a really good compromise. You can still have a piece of Ranalah. It's still a Ranalah. It's still going to perform as well as a full-size one, but it's just half the size. So they're going to stand just under 1 metre tall. I'll probably have to make some sort of bait, put them on a base of some sort. They'll be a bit too big to fit on a bench, depends on the height of the bench. That is the plan, that's the goal. We're back in the workshop after Christmas. I hope you've all had a nice break. I certainly have, it's been very lovely. Too many mince pies, way too many mince pies. As you've seen from the last video, the bike is done. I'm very pleased. And I'm going to be getting on with the Porsche. I've actually wheeled it out and dusted it off and starting to kind of uncover it and get all my bits back in order and get it. I've got to get the whole fixture table leveled up and everything like that. And I've started, but just bear with me for a second. This video is going to be on the mini Ranalah. A few weeks ago, I went down on my Cornish adventure to see Geoff Moss. What a day that was. I spent the day there. Any chance I can get really to hang out with Geoff is an awesome day. MPH Motor Panels, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know exactly where I am. If you're new to the channel and interested in wheeling, you need to come down and meet this man. I mean, look at his workshop. We've got an Edwards, an original Ranalah, Len Pritchard's original Ranalah, and one of the new ones, number 2, is here. And Geoff has used that machine to make this Lotus body. Look at it, it's beautiful. I've got a van full of presents for Geoff. I've got a new top wheel, because this top wheel was one of the first ones that I made. This is why Geoff has been using this machine. He's kind of putting it through its paces, and he said the radiuses on the corners were a bit too sharp. When he was doing a reverse curve, it would kind of dig in. And I had a couple of other people at Goodwood say similar things. So I've now, from this point on, all of the new wheels are a slightly larger radius. So that's got a much more of a radius on the corner.
Yeah, that's how it should be, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. Lovely.
And now engraved with Ranalah, just so we can tell.
Well, you could have an MPH put on there as well, couldn't you?
Oh, here we go. He's never happy. But I've brought down the top wheel for Geoff, another top wheel for somebody that lives down the road, 3 sets of lower wheels, which are what Geoff has been using in that machine. So if anybody comes down on a wheeling course with Geoff, he holds a week-long wheeling course here using the new Ranalah or the old one, the Edwards just here. I'll have sets of lower wheels here that will be for sale, basically. So Geoff's carrying them in stock now for us.
Look at that, an idiot can do this now. So your turn now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's ideal for me. Yeah. Early part of next year, you'll be able to come down, spend the week here with Geoff on a wheeling course, and you can stay here. There's accommodation. Need to wipe my feet. Look at this.
Sorry. 2 bedrooms, lounge.
Bedrooms looking out to the fields. Very nice.
Bedroom number 2, same as bedroom number 1.
Yeah, keeping it even, both the same size.
Lovely view.
The beautiful Cornish countryside. Look at that.
Eh?
What a view. Oh, look, the kitchen's in.
The kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
Bathroom. Brand new.
Cool. Oh, it's so close now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting close now.
Yeah. And then through there to the bathroom.
That's it.
All done. Very nice. You just need to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Till the new year.
Yeah.
Your
January stroke February.
Done.
Yeah.
I've also brought down the half wheel. Geoff doesn't know I've brought that down, so that would be a bit of a surprise to show him. But I can't wait to show him and see what he thinks. I've not built it up yet, it's just the bare casting, but I just wanted to bring it down so he can kind of eye it up and have a look. So I'm quite looking forward to showing Geoff that and seeing what he thinks. No doubt he'll probably have something to say about it, won't he?
Yeah, it's a lot smaller, isn't it?
But that's half.
Is it?
Yeah.
18 inches.
Go on, should we get it out and have a look?
Yeah.
But you got to think of the average size garage.
This is a good size for a single garage.
And it's only got your top wheel on there. Look, see, there's 18 inches. So you could double that. If you said 32, you'd do a panel 32 inches wide.
Which is what most doors.
Yeah.
No.
Wouldn't you?
Some quite heated debates in there about whether this wheeling machine is too small, too big. Geoff's got his opinion. Chris is here as well, who's been on a wheeling course with Geoff. He's come down to pick up a top wheel from me. It's been brilliant. We've all been sitting around over tea and biscuits, staring at this wheeling machine for ages, just thinking, is it gonna work? Is that gonna work? So we've had some good debates in there, and the general consensus is, if we can get it working, it will be great. It's smaller than everyone was expecting, but I like that because it's supposed to be for someone getting into it, a home kind of, you can have it in your single garage. You don't need the space of the big one. So that's good. But now the day has turned into a gas welding exercise. Geoff has seen my previous video from Tab 2 Classics where we made the tank and I had to go at gas welding. Ah, no! I can't believe I've done that. And he's been laying into me about it. And he's like, let me show you how to do it.
You can't show too much of this on YouTube because people have to pay for this. What is roaring like that? It's too much oxygen.
So I just literally pull the
Shut it down.
direction of the tunnels around the back or whatever, yeah.
Just practice that. And that, in effect, would be welding. We get straight in. No, wait. There you go. Push it together, make sure it doesn't open up as you weld, as you're tacking it. It's fine. No, you panic. Get back in.
Well, you're making me nervous, Geoff.
No, just relax. Right, off, you're done. Right, okay, where you go. Next one. That's it. Slow down. You
Getting all nervous.
look, stop. No, what you're doing wrong, Dom, is the minute you pull that away from the heat,
I'm wafting, I'm sort of...
you've lost your fluidity.
Okay, is it too cold?
Yeah, keep it in the same area.
So you're kind of pushing your pull along, basically.
Geoff wanted it a little bit bigger, but I quite like this size. I think it's going to work well. I'm going to have to convince him. I think there's no reason why Geoff can't make a whole E-type front end on this small half wheel. Maybe we'll set him a challenge of seeing how big a panel we can actually make on that small machine. Because I think it's going to be more capable than you might first think. When you first look at it, it looks really small, it looks tiny. But with the right driver, Geoff, I think you'll be surprised. But I've got a lot of work to do to get that bare casting fit and working and actually set as a machine. They need to be affordable, so someone can go on a course, learn, want to have a go, and it's not a massive investment. If I can sell them for less than £2,000, that is my kind of target. I'd love to be able to sell the working machine with the wheels ready to go for less than £2,000. What do you think? Would you pay that? Let me know. Leave me a comment below. On the full-sized Ranalahs, the first job is usually to weld the feet on the bottom. It's got these four little pads, sort of feet pads that go on the bottom. Mikey and the team at MJY Pattern Makers have included the feet in the pattern. The pads on the bottom are cast in all as one, which is lovely. So the next job is to drill the holes. There's 10 holes, 6 on the back on the upright, 4 on the floor on the base. The first step really is for me to just scribble on this casting to work out where's best to do it. I don't want it too close to the edge. Don't want it too close to the middle of the pad. I can't be too near the back because I need to be able to get a socket on it. Just trying to think of a convenient place for each hole to go. I've got some thick 8mm plate, steel plate that I'm going to put on the plasma cutter, and that will cut me a template, basically like a stencil with the outline of the Ranalah of the base, so I can put it on the bottom and line it up with the edges, and the 4 holes already cut in it. Literally, look at that. That's the back. There's hardly anything on there at all. Hardly anything to clean up. That is amazing. So imagine this, the final one is going to be 8mm thick, but that will, see, it fits the outline perfectly. So I can just tack weld that in place, just a couple of little tacks to hold it. And then I've got this nice flat surface that my mag drill can fix to, and then I can drill from the back, forwards, through the holes, just where I want them. Every casting will be the same, so I can just tack weld these onto every single one, and I know that every hole in every machine is going to be in the same spot. That is seriously chunky, but there we go, that's the back piece.
You say I'm weak when I'm being kind. I'm ripping out pages, reading your mind. It takes 2 to tango, but I'm dancing on my own. Well, this loneliness I was being alone. And those plans you're making will hold no shine. I don't care.
All I need now is the cutters to turn up. Apparently he's about an hour away. This is my mag drill. It's basically, imagine like a pillar drill. The whole point of using this mag drill is so that I can make sure that the holes are 90 degrees to the casting, to the back face and to the bottom. But the best thing is that there's power on the back, and on the bottom there's 2 giant magnets. The magnets stick to that, so it holds it in place, and then you can crank up and down on the handle like a pillar drill. Oh my god. And that will drill a nice straight even hole. But the cutter it's more like a milling bit, and the shank of it has got these 2 flats that has 2 grub screws that hold it in.
I don't care what you're taking, I've already got what's mine. And those plans you're making will hold no shine. I don't care what you're taking, I've already got what's mine.
Perfect. So I've taken measurements from this one and halved it. And it looks a bit low at the top, but I think I can work with that. The dimensions are okay. It's only a test. So I've just put this in the mill and flattened off the top. So now I can put it that way and flatten off the bottom. Once I've got the bottom nice and flat, then I will put a slot through there. Open that out a little bit. It's the only important thing about this really is that the bottom is flat and 90 degrees to that. It's all nice and parallel because that is where the wheels are going to sit. Drew it full size, then scaled it down, and I think I've got it in a good proportion, and I'm quite pleased with the size. This is only fabricated from steel, from some sort of 8mm steel that I had. The final one, I'd quite like to actually have that billet, actually CNC machined. I think that would be quite awesome. And again, trying to keep a handle on costs. If I have this cast, I'm going to have another pattern made, then get it cast and pay for that, then pay for that. Then get the raw casting here and have that, and then spend a day machining it and getting it all accurately to size, like I have to do with the full size ones. It takes ages. Oh, I don't know, who knows? But at least I've got now something I can actually physically look at, which I find so much easier when I'm working on projects like this. I'm making things from scratch and starting something. It's so difficult. Paper templates and things get you so far, but until you've actually got something to look at, you know, like now I've got that and it's all nice and square. I can work out what size axles I need, which means I can work out which bearings will work, which then means I can work out the actual final diameter of the wheels. I've got the cradle, I've even got the lower hand wheel, look. So I've ordered a lower hand wheel. This is just from eBay, somewhere cheap. It's cast iron, but it's to scale, it's the right size. I quite like it. Again, keeping a handle on costs. I think this is an area where I can make things more affordable without compromising the machine. It's still a cast iron handle. Brother Dan came over and we've spent all day playing with the Bridgeport, with the mill, put the Ranalah on there in every which way, on its back, on its front, forwards, backwards, up the other way. We've tried everything, trying to work out how to drill these holes. So I think the plan has changed. Whilst this Ranalah has been sitting in the workshop, the original plan, and the way I've designed it and had the patterns made, was to set the axles in Babbitt exactly the same as the originals. But we've kind of veered away from that now because it's smaller. There's not really room for that. You have to allow so much room for the thickness of the Babbitt so it's strong enough. Then there's an insert that the Babbitt holds in. Then inside that, there's the actual sort of shaft that moves up and down as you adjust the lower hand wheel. By that point, the bit moving up and down ends up the size of like a pencil. It's way too small. And I think that what we're trying to do basically is drill out the casting as big as we can, press in and solder in, tin inside and then solder in place the actual inserts. That is the plan at the moment. Whether it's going to work, I've got no idea. I would love to hear your thoughts. If anyone, I'm sure so many of you are very talented, very knowledgeable in engineering, probably more than me. How would you drill down, bearing in mind that is very close to that. That's the problem we're having, trying to get a drill that close. Look how long it has to be to go down through there to there. So that hole is a different size to that hole, so it's got to go through there, then through there. It's a long old way. It's a very, it needs to be up here somewhere. Then in the same movement, drill that. They need to be dead on 90 degrees to each other. We've got another plan, but that is going to involve making various fixture blocks and brackets and things like that, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to order some drill bits and cutters and things like that. Then I was on eBay looking at radial arm drills, some massive radial arm drills, really impressive big machines, so we could actually get some big drills and reamers, and like it's all massive. Everything is getting very big. But I don't know if that's going to work. But none of that's here now. I need to get some more 6mm steel to make these brackets and fixtures. I need to order the cutters and the bits and the extensions and all the other stuff that I need. So I can't really progress anymore. I hope you've enjoyed this video, slightly random one, bit of a one-off, because next week, here we go, I'm going to say it, I promise, next week, we're back on the Porsche, the 356. I'll get the box down that's on the racking that's been there for ages. We can start the year with a new present for the Porsche. Have a look at that rear end and see how far we got. So not long to wait. There you go. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.